Lead-free leaders are a great way of keeping your rig concealed from the carp. They do this by following the contours of the lake bed closely. First of all, I'm going to show you how to use a ready-made leader that you might buy off the shelf. Then I'm going to show you how to splice your own leaders to perfectly suit every angling situation. Lead-free leaders typically come with a ring swivel already attached. This setup could become a shod rig or a helicopter rig or a running rig or a lead clip setup. There are loads of options. It's important to use the right knot for this connection. The sort of knots that you might be used to tying to a swivel might not work. For example, if I were to tie this on with a half blood knot, this knot would simply pull apart and be absolutely useless. There are a number of different knots that are going to work. The knot that I tend to turn to time and time again, really easy to tie, and that's the simple grinner, also known as the uni knot. By pulling really hard, I cinch the knot down and test the strength of the knot. That simple uni knot to the top of a leader is actually stronger than tying direct to a swivel or a quick link, because when the knot is cinched down, the fibres of the material actually cushion and support the knot as it cinches down. With a bit of care and practice, it's easy to achieve whatever the stated breaking strain is of the main line that you're using. This was done with 12 pounds bullet. So that's how it should be set up. Let's have a look at what not to do. Don't use a swivel to join the main line to the lead-free leader. The reason why I don't think this is a good idea is that the swivel's a long way away from the actual hook in the fish. It's going to be dragging on the ground. It can get stuck between rocks, tangled in twigs, and it's just not necessary. You don't need to have a swivel at this point. Quick links are great and useful tools in certain situations, but I wouldn't ever use a quick link to do this job. Again, it adds an unnecessary tether risk at the top of the leader, and it's just not necessary. There are much safer ways of doing a quick interchangeable loop-to-loop connection at the top of the leader rather than use a quick link. How can that possibly be so strong? And I think this is why sometimes extra components are added at the top of a leader, because you might have more confidence in tying to a swivel, so you put the swivel up there, but the actual splice itself is very, very strong. Lead-free leader is actually made from a hollow woven tube of material. The process of splicing involves pulling it back inside itself. That's the hollow tube, that's the material going inside the splice, and when that's put under tension, this material closes down, and it's friction that makes a very, very strong connection. The strength of the splice is dependent on the length of the splice. The general rule of thumb in order to achieve maximum performance from the leader material is that a 4 centimetre splice will give you the stated strength. It's completely unnecessary to blob the ends or to add glue or tie an extra knot at all. The splice alone is a very, very strong connection, and it's very neat. To give you an idea of how strong a basic splice is, this is one that I've made up here. I've just got 2 rig pullers. It's just a plain straightforward splice. There's no glue, no tricks. And if I just hold it between the pullers there and give it a damn good pull, there's no way that I can break that. And that's £40 rated material. Ready-made lead-free leaders are a great way to get going, and they're suitable for a wide range of situations, but they're not perfect for everything. They tend to come in standard fixed lengths of 1 metre. Now, when I'm fishing at long range, I actually find that a metre leader will actually lose me a few yards, and if I'm in a situation where every yard counts, then I'll actually use a shorter leader. When I'm fishing at close range, especially over a very rocky margin, I want to protect more than 1 metre of the main line, and I want that leader to flow over all those rocks to keep it out the way of the carp's noses. So I might use up to about 6 foot is the absolute limit, but I'd only use this in very specific situations. The best way to cover all these situations is to buy the materials on bulk spools and do the splicing yourself. Then you can choose whether to loop to loop on a swivel, or to actually build a swivel into it, or just to splice a quick link directly in place for a helicopter rig, for example. Splicing modern lead-free material is quite easy. All we need is a splicing needle and a pair of scissors. So to start, all we need to do is measure out the amount of leader that we need. I'm going to cut off 1 metre of leader. That enables me to maximise the number of leaders I can get out of one spool. The first job is to measure 12 centimetres along the leader. And I'm just going to pinch at that point, and at the 12 centimetre mark I hook into the leader like that. I then turn the needle towards the short end. That's towards the 12 centimetre end that I've just marked. And by pulling there, I just pull that a few millimetres on, and by pulling at this point here, I keep the material going through the middle of the needle. If you kind of push from there at this stage, you might burst out the side. So just gently pull there, the latch disappears inside, keep pulling, and at that point there it might kind of stiffen up. So we're 2 centimetres in, but we need to go a little bit further than that. I then need to use a few more fingers, so I'm going to put a finger there and a finger there, and I just move the whole lot very gently down the needle like that. It's exactly 4 centimetres there, and at this point, if I just pull there, I pop the tip of the needle out of the material. That's our exit point. So that's going to create a 4 centimetre long splice. If we just take the material there, just push the needle through a little bit further, that exposes the latch. And then what I want to do is just trap the latch like that, hold it, push the material up a bit. This rucks the material and it loosens the fibres and makes it easier to splice. I then take the tag end and 3mm up from the end, I trap the material in the gate latch. Pushing up from there traps the tag end and stops it from moving. Now what we need to do is just twist, pulling the needle back very gently. Just give it this twisting action and you can see that it starts to fold over the tag end. Once it's folded over, it'll pull through nice and easily like that. Very little force there at all. It's all about getting it started. Separate the needle from the tag end like that. Take the top end of the loop, gently pull, and I just want to make that tag end disappear in there like that. I pinch that at that point there, and then take my fingers, wipe them up towards the loop. That smooths out the loop. So that's a finished splice and loop ready to go. So the finished result here is a 1 centimetre long loop and about a 4.5 centimetre splice. That will achieve maximum strength of the material. This is how you splice a lead-free leader.